Trust God's plan for greater blessings. God sees you. Wait, His timing is perfect. Blessed morning prayer. Good morning, dear friends. Welcome to this quiet, sacred moment of faith and reflection. Before we begin our prayer today, let me share a short story that holds a powerful truth about life, loss, and trust in God's timing. Thank you for watching Prayer and Grace. Please subscribe to the channel to give me more motivation. I will pray for God's blessings upon you and your loved ones every day. I hope you enjoy this channel, Prayer and Grace. There was once a gardener who tended his orchard with deep care and dedication for years. He nurtured every tree, watered every root, and watched as fruit began to grow. His work was faithful and steady, but one season, disaster came. A swarm of locusts swept through and destroyed everything. The trees, the leaves, the fruit, everything was gone. All those years of effort seemed to vanish in a single moment. The gardener wept. He felt the pain of loss and disappointment, and yet he chose not to give up. Instead of walking away, he returned to the barren field and began again. Every morning, he watered dry soil. Every evening, he prayed for rain. He didn't run ahead of the process. He trusted in something greater than himself. He believed God would answer in His perfect timing. In time, something incredible happened. The orchard began to grow back, stronger, fuller, and more fruitful than before. You see, God's blessings often come through seasons of waiting and faith. That gardener's story is a reminder for all of us. Even when we lose something, it's not the end of our story. So if you're walking through loss or disappointment, trust Him. Wait on God. His perfect timing brings greater blessings than we could ever imagine. Don't run ahead. He is already preparing something beautiful. When we face seasons of loss, it's easy to feel like everything has been wasted. Time, opportunities, relationships, it can all seem so far gone. But the beautiful truth is that God is never done working. His promises are steady, and He always restores what was broken in His perfect timing. In Joel 2:25, God says, "I will repay you for the years the locusts have eaten." This verse is more than poetic. It's a personal promise. Maybe you feel like you've lost years to illness, fear, mistakes, or pain. But God doesn't just replace what was lost. He brings greater blessings. When you trust Him, even your broken seasons can become a testimony of His goodness. Romans 8:28 tells us that in all things, God works for the good of those who love Him. Not some things, all things, even your tears, your waiting, your setbacks. None of it is wasted. Trust in God. Wait on God. His purposes is unfolding, even when you don't see it yet. Job 42:10 says that God gave Job twice as much as he had before. That's the kind of God's blessings we serve, abundant, overflowing, and often beyond expectation. But here's the key. We must not run ahead. When we feel tempted to take control, let's instead lean back into faith. God will answer, but in His timing, not ours. Trust God's timing. Even when the days feel long, the Bible reminds us again and again, restoration is coming. So don't give up. Hold on. The one who holds your future is faithful, and He's preparing something better than what was lost. As we come to this quiet place of prayer, I want to gently invite you to bring your heart to God just as it is. You don't need to pretend everything is fine. You don't need the right words. All you need is a willing heart and a little faith in God. Maybe you've been carrying silent pain. Perhaps something was taken from you. Your peace, your confidence, your hope. Maybe life didn't unfold as you planned. Maybe your heart feels bruised, or your dreams feel distant. But know this, God will answer. He sees what no one else sees, and more than that, He cares deeply. Let's take a moment to give it all to Him. Every silent sorrow, every disappointment, every burden too heavy to explain. You don't have to carry it alone anymore. Trust Him with what hurts. Trust in God with the parts of your story that don't make sense yet. He is the God who restores. Even now, behind the scenes, He is working. You may not feel it, but He is already aligning the right people, opportunities, and moments for your restoration. So wait on God. Let Him lead. Don't run ahead in fear or frustration. Trust God's timing. It's always perfect, even when it doesn't feel fast enough. Begin this prayer not with pressure, but with peace. Just say, "Lord, I give you my sorrow. Heal what's broken, restore what's been lost, and help me believe again." Because no matter what you've been through, God's not finished. Greater blessings are coming. Let your heart rest in that promise today. Waiting can be one of the hardest parts of faith. It's not always about doing more. it's often about learning to be still. There are seasons in life when answers don't come quickly, when doors remain closed, and when prayers feel unanswered. But that doesn't mean God is silent. In fact, it's often in the waiting that He is doing His deepest work. If you're in that place right now, take heart. Wait on God. His silence is not absence. His delays are not denials. He sees you. He knows what you need. And God will answer, but in His perfect timing. Sometimes we try to fix things on our own. We get restless. We move ahead without clarity. But when we run ahead, we risk missing what He's preparing for us. That's why the Bible tells us to trust God's timing, not our own understanding. It takes humility to slow down. It takes courage to stay put. But it's in those quiet moments that faith in God grows deep roots. Look back on your life. How many times has something better come when you least expected it? That's the fruit of waiting. God's blessings don't always look the way we imagined, but they always arrive right on time. Trusting God to deliver not just what you asked for, but what you didn't even know you needed. So today, breathe, rest in the knowledge that greater blessings are already on their way. And while you wait, let patience refine your heart. Let faith grow stronger. Let hope rise again. Because the truth is simple but profound. When you trust Him, the waiting is never wasted. Sometimes, when life falls apart, it's tempting to believe that the best parts of our story are behind us. We look at what's broken, what's been lost, and wonder if there's anything left to rebuild. But that's not how God works. He's not finished with your story, not even close. God is a master at restoring what others have written off. What you see as an ending, He sees as a new beginning. Trust Him. He hasn't forgotten you. In fact, He is already weaving your pain into purpose, even when you feel like you've lost too much relationships, opportunities, peace, or time. Know that God will answer, and what's ahead can still be more beautiful than what was behind. Job's life is a clear reminder. After all his loss, God restored him with double the blessings. That's not just history, it's hope. Hope for you, for today, for the future that's still being written. When you feel like you've reached the last chapter, wait on God. Let Him turn the page. Trust God's timing, even when it feels slow. There are blessings you haven't seen yet. There is healing still to come. There is joy still waiting to rise. Don't run ahead. Stay in step with Him. He knows what He's building in you. Your tears are not wasted. Your prayers are not ignored. Your waiting is not in vain. Faith in God means trusting, even when you can't see the whole picture. And greater blessings often come through the places we once thought were ruined. So today, hold on to the truth. God's blessings are still being prepared. The story isn't over. The best is not behind you, it's still to come. We all carry things from the past, moments we wish we could change, words we regret, people who've hurt us, and dreams that never came to life. And if we're not careful, those memories begin to weigh us down. But today, I invite you to do something brave. Surrender them. Let go of the bitterness. Release the shame. Lay down the disappointments. Because when you hold tightly to what's behind you, it's harder to receive what's ahead. And believe me, God's blessings are still ahead. But to embrace them, you must make room in your heart. Trust in God, not only with your future, but with your past. He knows every detail. Nothing surprises Him. And more importantly, He's already made a way to heal what feels too broken. Trust Him to restore what was lost. Faith in God means you don't have to carry everything on your own. Sometimes restoration begins not with a miracle, but with a decision. A decision to forgive, to release, to stop running ahead trying to fix it yourself, and instead wait on God to do what only He can. Healing takes time, but God's timing is perfect, and His grace is enough for every scar. The Lord doesn't just patch things up, He rebuilds. Brick by brick, grace by grace, He replaces sorrow with joy, ashes with beauty, and weakness with strength. God will answer, not just with relief, but with greater blessings than you imagined. So let go, not because it wasn't real, but because God's mercy is more powerful than your pain. Choose to walk forward in freedom, knowing the one who holds your future is also the one who can redeem your past. As we close this time of prayer and reflection, take a deep breath and let peace settle over your heart. You may not have all the answers yet. Life may still feel uncertain, but one thing is sure. God is with you, and He is not finished with your story. Even when the road ahead looks unclear, you can walk forward with confidence because you're not walking alone. The one who created you, who knows your every thought and tear, is leading the way. So trust Him. Trust in God to take you where you're meant to be. Don't rush. Don't run ahead of what God is preparing. He sees the whole picture. While you're waiting, He's working, and in His perfect timing, everything will fall into place. What feels delayed is not denied. Sometimes God's greatest gifts come after the deepest waiting. So wait on God with quiet strength and open hands. Let His promises guide you like a lamp in the dark. Let His voice calm the storm in your mind. And remember, God will answer, not just to comfort you, but to lead you into greater blessings than you could ever ask or imagine. The peace you long for, it's found in His presence. The purpose you're searching for, it's unfolding even now. God's blessings don't always arrive with fireworks. They often appear as quiet moments of grace, strength to get through the day, or healing that grows slowly but surely. So walk forward, not in fear, but in faith in God. Know that today is not the end, it's a beginning. Keep your heart open, keep your spirit expectant, and above all, trust God's timing, because the best is yet to come. After watching, remember to subscribe to the channel Prayer and Grace, comment on the video. I have many good videos to share. Learn to give, and God will give peace to you and your family.